Hey guys, welcome to my second podcast, and today we are going to talk about Godzilla Minus One, the newest movie of Godzilla in the franchise. And today, my bro is going to be with us.
Hi there, I am Alex, and I am the voice of Rad the Radical Frog. We pass kill. But sadly, Rad is not with us now because he's an idiot. He's a cartoon. But you have me instead. Thank you. And we are now talk about, Godzilla. Not only that movie, but Godzilla in general.
Okay, since we're going to start with this movie, and it's very damn popular, probably the most successful Godzilla ever made, and it is really good because it shows people really like it. And it kinda broke back the serious tones of the Godzilla franchise. Not that I don't like the more silly movies, but
The cheesy ones.
more cheesy ones, especially the Japanese ones, because
Yeah, like, the Gigan or Megalon movies were funny, like they look funny, but
yeah.
Godzilla, I like cheesy things, like Adam West, and even many people hate the campy face of Godzilla, especially the Showa era. I still like it.
But people think that sometimes you can't do Godzilla that is not in Japan, that they get the serious part of Godzilla better and the silly part better. But I actually like a few of the Godzilla, the gringo Godzilla.
Yeah, for example, the first time I saw Godzilla, it was not the 3-star movie, but the cheesy Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and was
Yeah.
good for its time,
Yeah, it was fun, and it was what was Godzilla around that time, constantly fighting monsters.
And Gotsuki.
Yeah, that's not the most popular part of that cartoon, but aside from that, it was very como
Okay,
yeah, no, it was not bad. It was like fun, and yeah, it kind of showed how Godzilla was of the time. Like Adam West Batman showed how the Silver Era comic books were. It was faithful in that
Yeah.
way to the
Even
current Godzilla.
back to the Gotsuki topic. Yeah, I like Gotsuki, but he was based on Minilla, so he's at least somewhat canon in the Godzilla universe.
Yeah, him and Millen are infamous, like the Jar Jar Binks of the franchise, considered. But
Shouldn't be that Jet Jaguar?
nah, people like him. Jar Jar Binks is hated, so
yeah.
I don't think it's the same. Jar Jar Binks is for the character that no one likes, or at least that was the case before the sequels of Star Wars.
Yeah, and well, before talking about Godzilla Minus One, back to the cartoon, at least that cartoon was the precursor of Godzilla animation and Godzilla the Animated Series. That was a sequel for the 3-star movie and the best animated Godzilla that ever come.
And speaking of that, another AC version of Godzilla that's American and that I like is the 3-star movie. Yeah, I know it's Ronald Emmerich and it's more like a disaster movie that Godzilla being all powerful and stuff, but I like it. It's cheesy fun. Like Godzilla was around the 70s with the Showa era.
Yeah, when you were a kid and you just want, eating popcorn and watch something with action, comedy. This was not so different, like Star Wars. Yeah, it's not as good as Star Wars, but was okay.
Yeah,
And the toy line was very good for a kid.
Yeah, and Godzilla, the three-star movie, I find it weird that the Japanese got pissed off so much that in Godzilla Final Wars they kill Silla, how they call him, but it is funny that they themselves turned Godzilla into a superhero clown in in the Showa era, basically, but because this Godzilla is iguana, doesn't look that like Godzilla, and is not as powerful, that is a problem.
Well, the real problem for that movie, at least for me, was the name Godzilla. If that movie was more a remake of Gorgo, the British Godzilla, more than a Godzilla movie. But I think it was okay. Not excellent, but I prefer that movie than the first Monsterverse movie.
Yeah, that was kinda boring.
CGI crap.
Yeah. But yeah, and yeah, the animated series of Godzilla, that one was so good. It was like the Men in Black animated series.
Yeah, and Godzilla was like a superhero, and this is funny, but Nick Tatopoulos was, a geeky nerd in the movie, but in the cartoon he was a total badass. So was a little bit of inconsistency, but I like it. Me gusta!
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an improvement over the three-star movie, but yeah, it's kinda hard to see it as the same universe when it is kinda different. I mean, there was clearly not intention or signs of other monsters in the three-star movie, but then all of a sudden there are millions of monsters all over the world in the series.
Yes, because, that's sadly what only people know Godzilla. Godzilla versus Megalon, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. But Godzilla, like in this movie, Godzilla Minus One, is more than just Godzilla fighting another rubber suit monster.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, now let's talk more about Godzilla Minus One.
Okay.
Yeah, well, speaking about that, this Godzilla is not a rubber guy. Yeah, it's sad that that type of animation motion capture is gone now. We now are using motion capture instead.
Like in Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean Shin Godzilla used it for reference a few guys in a suit, but that's why I think that Shin Godzilla, because of that, is the one that is CGI but looks the most like a guy in a rubber suit, so much that you barely notice that it's CGI actually. But in this one, you can
love it, that movie.
Yeah, but Minus One, you can tell it's more like a CGI creature, because it doesn't move like a guy in a suit. It's more like they try to make it look more like an animal.
A primal force of nature.
Yeah, it fits with this Godzilla that's way more similar in tone to the original movie, the very first one.
Yeah, you could also call that not a remake, but a reimagine of that movie.
Yeah, reimagination, because it's very similar in tone in even the time period when it came out, and it was taking place in
after World War II, you know, and the nuclear bombs and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about this movie, and the characters are really well made, and
It's a very Japanese movie.
yeah, you actually care about the human characters, because one thing that the American Godzilla doesn't get right in a few of them, especially the Monsterverse, is that the humans are boring. You just want to get to the next monster fight. At least in 3-star Godzilla they were funny, and in the Japanese movies especially, they were very over the top and funny in the Showa era, or even in the more serious movies like the Heisei era, there were still entertaining and good characters. But here they are even better.
Yes, because they are just humans trying to survive.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about something more specific about the plot. Like, the movie starts with a kamikaze pilot named Koichi. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
And he's considered just a chicken.
Because he didn't want to kill himself for a war that they were already losing.
Yes, and you know, he becomes like the coward of the town.
Yeah, but before that, they are in a beach, and he just got out of his duty because he said that his plane had a malfunction, and then Tachibana, the mechanic, takes a look and says there's nothing wrong with it. So
he was faking it.
Yeah, they know that. He was not like very. No, he was not very good at lying, but.
What are you?
Yeah, there's not that, but there's nothing else that they can do. If he doesn't want to and says that he had a problem, there's not much that they can do, but they can shame him. And then Godzilla appears.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, but it's not a full Godzilla, it's like a dinosaur form Godzilla, before he is radioactive and all that stuff.
So he still has, you know, the minigun or, I don't know, assault rifle of his plane, and they say shoot him, but he just freezes up.
Yeah, because he's too scared of Godzilla, and because he doesn't shoot, the otters get scared and shoot him, but he doesn't do anything, so Godzilla starts attacking them, and he actually kills like almost the entire crew.
Yeah, I know, probably Koichi can't kill Godzilla with just a machine gun, but maybe he can, but because for this movie is more a redemption arc, but that needs that Koichi had the opportunity to kill Godzilla. If just, you know, scare him, it's not the same impact.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would have killed him because Godzilla was not that big. He was just like a
T-Rex.
Yeah, a T-Rex, not that big, and he wasn't like super powered. He didn't do anything that would imply that he was like a super creature, just a dinosaur, basically. So I think that, yeah, it works better for the movie that he had the opportunity and wasted it for being a coward like he was while being a kamikaze.
Yes, I think that.
And of course, Tachibana gets angry at him because he was the only one that survived, and of course Koichi as well. And he obviously blames him, even though that he didn't know if it was going to work, but the fact that he didn't even try is what pisses him off.
Yes, and after that, Koichi returns to his town and is totally destroyed.
Yeah, for the war.
Yeah.
And his parents died, and
owls hate him.
Yeah,
and are jerks.
Yeah. Yeah, especially Sumiko Ota, that was his neighbor. She really says that if people like you would have died, we would have won.
Yes, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know. I know that Koichi is a little coward, but you can empathize with him.
Yeah, I don't think that's too much to ask, to kill yourself for that. And I mean, I know that's basically going to die in a war anyways, but at least there's a chance that you can survive. But when you go specifically to die as a kamikaze, there's no way that you survive. That's what you are supposed to do, die. So I can see why he got scared.
Well, it's because the kamikaze culture is like samurais. They just need to, follow orders, don't question.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the main point of the movie, the guilt that Koichi has. But later, he finds a woman that was running away from some guys, and she hands him a baby. The woman is named Noriko, and later she goes back to him. They decide to raise the baby together.
As a family.
Well, they don't want to call themselves a family just yet. To them, they are just trying to survive and helping each other, but they actually grew up later to basically become a family.
And fuck! Sorry, that was a rat.
Well, yeah, maybe later.
Yeah, sorry. I missed that guy.
Yeah. Later, Koichi manages to get another job, but in the war again. But
he recruits himself again.
Yeah, because he needs a job to take care of. Koichi needs a job to take care of Noriko and the baby. So of course he needs more money, and obviously the war is still going, so they have to win somehow. So of course that's going to give more money at the moment than any other job.
But not as a pilot, as a navvy now.
Yeah, his job is disposing naval mines using a wooden boat. Of course, he also has a crew of people in there, and those will be Shiro, Kenji Noda. This guy is like the smart guy from the crew.
The Hakase.
Yeah. And Yoshi Akitsu, the captain of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And the job is to dispose those mines by grabbing them, putting them up, and then shooting them. Of course, he stays a while in here, but eventually, one day, they encounter Godzilla. The crew is scared because they realize that they were put in there to distract Godzilla for a while.
And Godzilla is now above. I don't know what happened to Godzilla, but it's not that wimpy T-Rex anymore.
Oh yeah, because now at this point the nuke was got wet off, and that was what made him a monster. a giant monster, of course. Now, this is more the typical Godzilla that we know.
Yes, and the movie for some reason becomes like Moby Dick for a time.
I say it is more like Jaws. They need to distract Godzilla until the bigger destroyer Navy boat appears. And they do it by using some of the mines that they have grabbed. They threw one at him and make it explode near him, but it doesn't do anything.
Maybe they should have create Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, not. That's not going to happen yet anytime soon. But you could say that, yeah, maybe Godzilla in this part wasn't going very fast because he couldn't catch up with a wooden boat. But I think he was playing with his prey like a cat.
I don't think that Godzilla is just evil. He's like a force of nature, you know, like if you are an elephant and you stomp off an ant, that doesn't mean that the elephant is evil. Just he's too big and powerful and he just stomp on an ant.
Yeah. But eventually they have the idea of exploding the mine inside his mouth, and with this they discover its weakness. Yeah, it manages to explode in his mouth and creates a big hole in his jaw. But sadly, this doesn't do much because it regenerates immediately almost.
Like a Dragon Ball Z villain.
Yeah.
Like Cell or Majin Buu.
Then eventually, just when Godzilla gets pissed off and now was going to kill them, the destroyer Navy boat arrives and shoots him with his cannons. Of course, this makes Godzilla even more angry and destroys that entire
Boat.
yeah, the entire ship.
Mm-hmm.
And later Godzilla just they manage to escape. And some days later, Godzilla, of course, before we go to that, Koichi obviously tells the crew that he could have killed Godzilla and he didn't, and that's leaves him with more guilt. And later decides to tell Noriko about everything that happened.
Yeah, sorry for him, but even Noriko is a little angry with him.
Oh yeah, because this part is very well acted. The movie has great acting, and he really kills it in this scene. And of course, Noriko is very angry because she knows that this whole thing that's happening right now is partly his fault because he couldn't kill Godzilla, and he also tells him about how he was a kamikaze pilot and failed to do his duty.
Yes, that's basically the first act of the movie.
Yeah.
The second act just drag a little longer, you know, there is that classic rampage of Godzilla in the city and yada yada.
Yeah, but this time, eventually Godzilla attacks the city where Noriko works because she got a job, because she wanted to contribute to the house.
Mm-hmm.
She barely survives when Godzilla grabs a train where she is, and this scene is really as tense. Reminds me of Uncharted. Yeah.
Yeah, and
She managed to survive, but Godzilla is still there, so she has to run away, and Koichi finds her. But after they reunite, Godzilla uses his blast, destroying a big part of the city. Noriko manages to save Koichi by pushing him into a building just as the blast was starting, and she gets the blast and he doesn't because he is
just
protected.
the impact,
Yeah.
but not the attack.
Yeah,
if
but
now
that,
she would be obliterated.
but even this is more than enough to send them flying away, and Koichi later doesn't find her.
So she is dead.
Yeah. But later, obviously this makes him really angry. And what was happening later?
They had a plan to fight Godzilla.
Yeah, because obviously after doing this, Godzilla is too much of a threat, and this is like the third act will start.
Yes, they have a master plan to kill Godzilla.
Because he is too dangerous, but sadly the rest of the world will not help them. Even though this is... seriously, this thing is way too powerful. You will think that the entire world would unite to destroy this monster.
Not even the Japan army tried to kill Godzilla.
Yeah,
They just quit.
Yeah. So
They say, it's now your problem, sorry, deal with
yeah,
it.
so the people decide to
Fight back.
fight back Godzilla, and they reunite to make a plan. At this point,
It's a little difficult to explain that plan.
Kenji Noda he's a former naval weapons engineer, and he comes up with the plan to kill Godzilla. It's a plan where they create some bubbles to sink Godzilla really fast into the deepest part of the ocean, and that the pressure will be so strong that will crush him. And if that's not enough, they're going to inflate some balloons to make him go up again so fast that they change in pressure will destroy him again.
His organs.
Yeah, entirely. There's Noda said that there's no way that anything could have survived, but they don't know much about Godzilla, so there's no way to know if that will kill Godzilla or not.
Well,
So
they don't have many alternatives.
But they have a last plan just in case. They have a plane that will be piloted by Koichi, and this one will be carrying a bomb that will go directly in Godzilla's mouth, just to give him a final blow and kill him for good, if that's everything else doesn't work out.
And he needs to do it just before the atomic breath.
Yeah. But he needs the help of Tachibana, so of course Tachibana doesn't want to help him. He hates him now, so Koichi decides to slander him, and yeah, that pisses him off and goes where he is. Of course, Tachibana is angry and beats the shit out of him, but it works. It got his attention, and now he's going to help him, because he also wants to get rid of Godzilla.
Yes.
And this is where the last act starts. Yeah, and they have the destroyers ready. Koichi is going to be the
hero,
and he's going to try to distract Godzilla to make him from the cities and make him come right where they need him to be, in the sea. The destroyers are getting in place, Meanwhile, Koichi distracts him, flying really near him, which is dangerous, of course, because Godzilla tries to bite him several times.
It's just like an annoying fly to Godzilla.
Yeah, but and Godzilla doesn't know what they are doing. They are going around him to put the cords around him, and then they finally get him where they need him, and they activate it.
Well, wait. But in this movie later, we know that Godzilla is not just a dumb animal. He has some form of intelligence because he screwed the plan.
Yeah. He tries to shoot his atomic breath, but it destroys one of the destroyers, but this was a fake one. There was nobody in there. It was just a distraction.
He wastes all that energy.
Yeah,
power.
He needs now to recharge his atomic breath.
Mm-hmm.
And then they activate the plan. This starts to sink Godzilla really fast. And it seems that it is working, but then it reaches the most deep that it could, and it seems that Godzilla is still alive. So now they have to get him up again. But Godzilla destroys the balloons. So now they just need to...
So that proves that Godzilla is not an idiot.
Yes, very smart animal. But now they are going to get him up by using the cords to and the destroyers to bring him up really fast on their own.
But he's too strong,
Yeah,
so they can't.
but later the rest of the boats of the town go to help them, and by putting them to the cords, they manage to get him out.
Yes, it's like when in Dragon Ball they give Goku their power for a Genkidama or Spirit to bomb, whatever is called.
Yeah.
That anime moment.
Yeah, and now Godzilla is angry, of course, because he's still alive, but he's severely injured. He's still regenerating a little bit, so he start to charge his atomic breath again.
He's pissed off.
Yeah, he's hit Ray. But just as the last moment, Koichi comes and tries to do the final part of the plan, but we got to a little flashback. Because, right, when it gets the plane into his mouth, it explodes. But later we see that he uses a parachute. He didn't went full kamikaze again. But
Because he's a coward, you see?
Yeah, we
All
get...
the time he's just evading and cheating dead.
Yeah, but now... yeah, we get the flashback and we go that Tachibana put the escape... you know, when that thing, the plane makes you jump and you get the parachute to escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, because now he has to take care of a family. Akiko, with his adopted daughter, she's now the one, she needs a family, someone that can take care of her. Of course, before he gave Sumiko Ota, the neighbor, a letter to say that she should care about her, take care of Akiko.
In case he dies.
Yeah, and that makes you think that he was going to kill himself again because of his guilt, but in the end he doesn't. Which shows you that this movie uh, has an interesting view on the kamikaze. I think that he respects the concept, but they know it's not a good thing, that you have to live for your loved ones.
Yes.
That's what the movie is saying. It doesn't condemn the...
This movie had a Disney happy ending.
Oh yeah, because later we realize that Noriko is actually still alive. She survived the attack with the heat blast of Godzilla in the city. She only has her eye damaged and some bandages, but she's fine basically. She somehow survived.
She's just a mommy now.
Yeah.
But, well, that's the movie.
Yeah. We really liked it a lot.
Yes.
It
has hurt.
Yeah, really good acting, really good special effects, especially considering that this movie didn't cost much money.
Yeah, not $1 trillion like Marvel or DC.
Yeah, this actually not nearly as expensive as none of those, and it never has one really awful moment like Thor Love and Thunder with that flotating head. No, the special effects are really good all the way through.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like this movie.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
know if it's my favorite Godzilla movie, but...
Oh yeah, the first one is really damn good too.
Yeah. And Shin Godzilla too.
Yeah, that's good as well, yeah.
Yeah. But I still like the Crystal Godzilla.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know why,
the first Godzilla movie that we watched, actually.
Same. So, I have some nostalgic for
Yeah,
that movie.
me too. I really loved Godzilla, that one, but...
Yeah.
This is how Godzilla should be more often, I think. Because, yeah, the silly campy stuff is fun, but we have plenty of movies about that type of Godzilla.
The Millennium Era was the total return of the campy era. But
yeah.
with bigger budget and better effects. But was still just like the later parts of the Showa era.
Yeah.
For example, one of my favorite top 5 Godzilla movies is Final Wars. And that movie is shit insane.
But shit insane.
But shit insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. X was a good villain.
Yeah, I mean, probably the best human villain in the more silly Godzilla movies.
Yes. The guy was, you know, he was having a good time
Oh yeah,
with
of
his
course.
role.
And the fights with the humans were also really over the top and silly.
Yeah, like some sort of mix of Power Rangers with Matrix, I don't
yeah.
know. But yeah, that's basically Godzilla Minus One, but it's more just to talk to Godzilla in general, not to use Final One. But you know, this is the real return of Godzilla, because for some time Toho was doing some experimental stuff with anime movies that look like Attack on Titan, but with Godzilla.
Yeah, they tried to be like Attack of Titan. Like they said, oh, these young people are really liking that Attack of Titan anime. So Godzilla is a giant monster
like,
too.
Some apocalyptic war with a giant evil monster.
Yeah, so we can do the same with Godzilla, and they didn't work out.
Yeah, and after that, weird anime with Studio Bones. I love Studio Bones, but they don't know Godzilla.
Yeah, I couldn't watch much of that one. It was very boring.
So, what was the problem? I think that the Japanese executives of Toho in that monument say that Godzilla for this new generation was, a little outdated and boring and silly. So, what kids like now? Click, poink, anime. So, that's what we need to do. Godzilla needs to be an anime. Movies and TV series.
Yeah, but in the end, now they know what really works. Because they did this movie and it was like another take on a serious Godzilla after Shin Godzilla. Because that one was really well liked. It didn't make too much money, but at least people liked it, so they decided to make another one like that, and this time Godzilla Minus One was even more like the original, and
I think
it worked because it was really well executed, the idea.
Yeah, I think that in Shin Godzilla, that Godzilla is the only one that looks or feels evil,
Yeah,
like it was like an evil entity.
yeah. But this one is also really, it's more like a force of nature. It's not necessarily evil. It just destroys things because that's what it likes to do.
Before we finish this, maybe you have some question. Well, we don't have video games of Godzilla and the copyright, so we just put Rampage because we love that game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we need something with a giant monster and we play with Lizzie.
Yeah, the Godzilla monster type of the game. Well, I think that's enough for now. You want to say something else?
Maybe no, but I know who want to say something. What the fuck? I like Godzilla, but I love more Sugi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough for today. See you later, guys.
Yep.